if you have no stress, first, we don't live more than a week. We can die tomorrow because we cannot be on alert. Secondly, you have boredom. You won't be energized. You won't do anything. And if you are so stressed all the time and you don't have any recovery time, you go in burnout. So you have to find that middle perfect spot so that your body's working for you and not against you.
Dr. Vanessa Musa, a former dentist turned professional life coach. Her mission is clear: to help high-achieving individuals avoid burnout, build a resilient mindset, and live authentically aligned with their values. Dr. Vanessa has crafted the Iowa coaching method, a powerful approach that goes beyond conventional coaching to address the root cause of stress and empower individuals to lead fulfilling lives. How do I know I'm burned out?
So people think burnout happens right away. Burnout happens when you have...
Welcome back, Alpha, to a new inspiring episode of the Alpha Talks podcast. Today in the studio, I've got a very special Alpha for you today. Dr. Vanessa Musa. Her mission is clear: to help high-achieving individuals avoid burnout, build a resilient mindset, and live authentically aligned with their values. Without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Vanessa to the Alpha Talks show. Welcome and thank you for coming today.
No, thank you so much. I'm really, really honored to come here today. And the work that you do is inspiring. So I'm happy to be part of this mission.
Thank you. Vanessa, let's start by saying the people, once we broadcast the episode, they will look at the thumbnail, they will look at the title, they will think it's interesting. And what can we promise them today to gain if they gave us their time?
Beautiful question. Yeah, I think the insight that I would like to give them is, first of all, that you have the power to create the life that you want, because you are the creator of your current circumstance. If you're happy or unhappy, you are the creator of your current circumstance. So you have the power to create the life that you want, and to know that stress is not the enemy. You know, being stuck is the enemy. And once we understand what stress truly is and how to master it, not manage it, you can be a beacon of light and in bigger alpha if you want to.
We'll love that. We will dig deep in this. But Vanessa, I like how calm you are. I wish I'd calm like this. I wish I'm calm like this. So let's start. How are you today?
I'm good. Actually, I'm really energized. Yesterday, I tried the ice bath for the first time. I was feeling very tired, you know, being in Dubai, working in AC, you know, you get tense, you get tired. And I tried this ice bath. It was for a friend's birthday, and I was really scared. Like, I was panicking because I've lived in hot weather for 10 years. But it was the best thing I've done, because it definitely brings that inner calmness in you. That survival
no heart attacks?
instinct. No heart attacks, because you don't have to eat or drink any coffee before.
Yeah.
So, but it's really like the most discipline if you are to do this. It's really a challenge. I recommend anybody to do
I did it a couple of times back when I used to live in Moscow.
Okay.
When they break the ice lake and you have to jump in the ice, I felt my half of the body paralyzed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
But you have to be guided through it.
Yeah,
like,
true.
where I did it was, he looked at me, he was like, be focused, calm down, because you need to tell your body you're safe so that it doesn't go into fight and flight mode.
Next week we're having a guest. He specialized in this, so
Amazing.
That
would be
fun.
interesting.
That will be fun. So let's go a little bit backwards and tell us, who's Dr. Vanessa in a nutshell for our audience?
Wow. Who is Dr. Vanessa?
From your perspective, of course.
From my perspective. So I think I'm a high-achieving, highly sensitive professional who has broken the mold of what is expected of her, especially as an Arab woman. You know, I've been an immigrant for so long, you know, the self-made Arab woman. And I left the life that is expected of me and started the life that is right for me in the most hard way possible. Like, through depression and burnout, I discovered who I truly am. And now I have the honor, actually, to help other high-achieving professionals to create the life that is right for them through self-mastery, stress mastery, and self-leadership. And that's what the Iowa coaching method was all about.
I love that.
A quick note, I find this incredibly intriguing. On the back end of our YouTube channel, it says around 75% of you who watch this channel frequently over the lifetime of this channel haven't yet hit the subscribe button. I just wanted to ask you for a favor. It helps this channel so much if you choose to just subscribe. It helps us invite guests that give you great value. It helps us scale the production, and as well makes this show bigger and bigger for you. And if you enjoyed the previous episodes and you're currently enjoying this episode, could you please hit the subscribe button? I love your support. It's incredible to see all your comments and engagement, and we are just starting. Thank you so much, and I will repay this gesture by making sure that everything we do on this show makes it bigger, and better. I'm committed to do this promise. Do we have a deal? Thank you so much for subscribing. It means the world to me.
Let's go a little bit backwards to uncover a little bit of your story. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood? So you have Arab roots, as I understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was born in Australia, in Melbourne. My dad is Lebanese Australian, and my mom is Lebanese. They came from the same family, so definitely the childhood must be a bit interesting. But I was raised in Lebanon. We moved when I was 4, and then when I was 18, I left to Europe, and then to Romania, to Italy, and then to Reunion, and now Dubai.
What is Reunion?
Reunion is a...
Where is it?
I didn't even know where that was,
Okay.
honestly. I didn't know because I went to Reunion. I followed the love of university, my love at university.
Okay.
He was an island boy. He was a dentist as well. And Reunion is a French island. It's the Hawaii of France. So it has the
Okay.
same nature of France. It's between Mauritius and Madagascar. So it's next to Seychelles,
Yeah.
that part of the world. It's a very beautiful place. It's very calm,
Wow.
very chill. But it's not for entrepreneurs because first it's Europe, so it's hard to be entrepreneur in Europe. Secondly, it's an island vibe, so everything is the fixed mindset. This is how they thrive
okay.
there. So I lived there. I worked as a dentist. It's really good for dentists. I highly recommend it because there's a lot of work potential, really healthy work-life balance compared to Dubai for dentists. And but you cannot grow from there. There is a
Okay.
limit that you reach. It's an island. It's a small place.
So you moved from Reunion to where?
To here.
To here.
Yeah, wearing
Wow.
flip-flops to work to Dubai.
Wow.
So it was a big shift.
What motivated you then to move to Dubai?
So what motivated me were two things. First of all, when I was young, because you were asking me about my childhood, so I grew up in a very difficult home. It was abusive. I grew up in a broken home. So my dad was abusive, and it was hard to see my mom going through all of this, you know, abusive men, and then she married again. It wasn't the best the second time. So my mission was to be an independent, respected woman that I don't need anybody, and I can able to take care of my mother. That was my mission. So when I finished university, my mom went through a very difficult second divorce, and my brother was involved. There was kidnapped. It was a very difficult times. Yeah, it was hard.
It's a movie.
It is a movie. I told my mom we need to
Uh-huh.
make it as a movie. But I stepped up for my mom. I was like, I want to be the breadwinner. I don't want you to depend on anybody else. I'll take care of you. So I took care of my family for 6 years. And then they moved to the US. They were in Italy at the time. Now they live in California and they're happy and thriving. So when they were great, I actually went through depression because as an 18-year-old, my mission was to create that perfect life on the outside, far from the world that I grew up in. And I said to myself, once I reach that perfect life, I lived in the island, it's the paradise. I found the love of my life in Italy, just like the movies, and he followed me to Reunion, and my family were safe. I should be happy. That was the whole point with all the turbulences I went through. And actually it led to the opposite. I went through depression because I did not know who I am without having trauma to push me forward in my life. So this is where I decided to, okay, I think there is more to life than dentistry. And it was a hard choice to make because
Exactly.
12 years in one career.
True. And dentistry.
And dentistry. But I was also lucky because I found a partner who was an alpha as well. He's Italian, and when he moved to Reunion for his family was a bit weird, but he decided to be his own boss. I remember there, and I was definitely supportive. And we were at the point that he wanted to grow, and he cannot grow in Reunion. And I was ready to discover what I am. And this is what we thought Dubai was, this beautiful place for high achievers, entrepreneurs, and to grow. So this is what made us move here.
But you came to Dubai as a dentist, or you came to Dubai knew that you're gonna switch?
I came to Dubai as a depressed, lost person.
Wow.
I did not know what I was going to do, but I knew that if I stayed where I was, I'm not going to grow. So I think that fear of not growing was bigger than just doing what I know, because I knew that was not my life. And dentistry is such a small world. People think it's so open. It's not. It's so small. So when I came here, I focused on my well-being because I was in burnout and depression, and I did not realize it until I stopped. So this is where I think a lot of immigrant, resilient people, they think it's okay, it's better here than back home, so you have to keep pushing, but it will catch up to you. It will catch up to you.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Then how the transition from being a dentist, then deciding to be a coach?
Beautiful question. So when I came to Dubai, actually when I was 18, I wanted to be a psychologist, but I couldn't do that because the family didn't see the benefit of this. I mean, boy, are they wrong now. But I always incorporated psychology in everything that I did, in school and in my work. And also as a dentist, I was known as the gentle dentist for stress management techniques. And I loved that. And we did not learn any soft skills in university, especially doctors. We don't know how to be leaders. They don't teach us business. They don't teach us any of this, because being a doctor is hard in of itself. But the other things you learn on the job. So I said, I want to discover something in the world of psychology, but more result oriented. I don't want to go back to, university. And I heard about coaching. And I'm like, this is amazing. I will discover what I want to do, and I will learn these amazing tools, and I can use it in dentistry. Because I thought about taking a year off, then I will go back. But actually, it was the thing missing in my life. I knew that this was it. But it was hard to make that decision. So I would definitely tell you, it was this resilience in me that I wanted to go for it. If it's not now, it will never happen.
How long did it take you?
So I think I came here 3 years ago. So I think that first year was a very stressful year. The move, it was COVID times. And when you leave Europe, for anybody who knows how Europe is, the admin stuff, first it's a separation, then it's divorce. Like, I don't want to go back. It's so bad, That takes time for you to recover. But I think just in the first year I knew. But then after that, in the last 2 years, I've been focused full on, because being a coach is not a side gig. It's not just a side hustle. You have to be full on. If you're really focused on your clients getting results, you have to be full on.
Before we dig into your expertise,
Definitely.
every second person we meet all is a coach, in a way, or position themselves as a coach. How can I identify that coach is the right coach? Because 99.99999% of people tell you, I'm going to coach you because what? I passed through this path.
Of course.
I solved the problem to myself. And doesn't make sense. So how can people find the right coach, or what are the credibilities?
Exactly.
Credentials, I would say.
Of course. I mean, first when I came to Dubai, I did not know how big coaching was here. Actually, I was so excited that there were so many institutes when I first came. But when I came and I saw so many coaches, even in my institutes, everyone that I did, you see people starting, but they never finish. They're not leaders. So I was like, you need to lead by example. First, that you did it, okay, that's really great. But dealing with people is different. So being a doctor, being a dentist, I've seen 30 people a day in pain. So when I coach people, it's not about you at all. It's about them. Can you help them get to where they want to be? Because there's a lot of coaches, it's sometimes, I'm sorry to say, it's ego. Like they think they are the next, I don't know, Tony Robbins or something, just because they know how to talk. But it's not helping anybody. It's not about you. You need to put your ego outside the door for a second and focus on the person in front of you and how you can help them achieve. So first, getting a proper training is very important. Like, I did a few trainings, but the last one that I did was the professional with the best of the best. It's called IPAC, the Institute of Professional Excellence in Coaching. They just got in the Forbes list as well. So honestly, when I did with them, I felt ready. Although
it's like a 9-month, 1-year thing, right?
Exactly. So I had so much previous expertise as a healthcare professional, but when I did that, it really gave me the tools. Like, I feel like I can help people to get to where they want to be, and I'm specific. I don't work with anybody as well. So you have to be sure, because you're wasting their time, you're wasting your time, and the investment as well. So you have to be sure who you coach.
So credential, because like couple of months back, on LinkedIn, somebody approached me, and he said, like, I'm a coach, business coach, and I will help you scale your business. Then by nature, you need to look at this person.
Of course.
The credentials. Then I look at him. He's been always positioned himself as a coach from being born till that day. You didn't even do business. You didn't have your own business. You didn't scale your own business. But now you're positioning yourself as a coach. You want to help me to scale. You didn't even scale. So if we talk about coaching, how big is the industry of coaching?
Oh my God, it's huge now. Because the problem with coaching that I see is that it's not regulated. So anybody can call themselves a coach, but not everybody can call themselves a doctor, for example. You have to go through the education, you have to go through so many exams. And even when you change country to country, you have to enter the boards. So it's not easy. That's why it's hard. But in coaching, anybody could be a coach. That's why now I think there is the International Coaching Federation that is regulating it a bit. So if you are credentialed by the ICF, they call it, it is good. But it also depends on you, because in the Middle East, especially for women, they're so focused on getting those credentials and not doing the work.
The work, true.
Right? So get the credentials, awesome, but do the work. Because this is how it helps. What are the results that you've given clients? What are your type of clients? And or who are your potential clients if you want to start? And just be honest. I think that's hard to see here. Just honesty and just be clear on who you help and how you can help them.
Another thing, when I was reading about you for prepping for the interview, you took NLP, am I correct?
Yeah.
Why?
So NLP was interesting because I think these past 2 years were crazy with everything that I learned, but NLP was crucial about how it's the language that you talk to people and with yourself. It's this inner language, and it changes everything because thoughts leads to feelings, feelings leads to action, and action leads to result. So it all changes with how you start thinking as well, and then the body. This is what I learned also later. Yeah.
What are the challenges that you see as a coach here? Before we dig and how to manage stress and how the what are the challenges?
Oh, they're huge. I think first of all, as you mentioned, the competition is that there's so many coaches, and if coaches are not representing the industry correctly, they can give a bad reputation to other coaches who are doing it the right way. So it depends who you're talking to as well. I think the challenges is first staying authentic and not being distracted by the next shiny thing, like, oh, business coaching is making the money, or this is focus on why you became a coach, what's the point of this, and then be really honest with yourself and find your why and keep going. Authenticity, I think, is really crucial, and professionalism. It is big.
You created something unique in your coaching approach, which is Aywa. Yeah. So can you tell us about it? Because Aywa in Arabic is
awesome.
Exactly. So why you came up with this idea? Because more or less it's a marketing thing, and you did a very good branding with it. And what is Aywa?
So Aywa, it was something that I started in Reunion. When we decided to come to Dubai, I said, we want to have an Aywa life. So our company that we first opened here with my partner, we called it Aywa Life because that's what we wanted. And the Aywa method is, other than it's catchy, it's something that when you hear it, you understand what it means right away. It's first of all, the A is where you get awareness and acceptance. It's, it's a methodology. So when people are coming to me and they want help, they come with different aspects. Either they're so overwhelmed with stress, they don't know who they are and what they want to do, or they know who they are, but they don't know what they want to do, or they know who they are, they know what they want to do, but they don't take any actions.
But can I stop you here because I want to go one step back?
Sure.
Usually people come to you when they have shit, which means I'm in pain, I need a coach, or I come to you just preventive in a way.
It depends on the person.
What is the majority? Because I don't go to a doctor unless I'm dead.
Yeah.
So it's a more like when there is pain, there is something, I visit a doctor.
And as a dentist, I saw that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's really bad because just going into health, because that would help to have the comparison. When you go to, I'll say a dentist because this was my career and I can speak of that more, professionally. People would come with an abscess like this. So what we do is that we give them antibiotics, I give them painkillers, it subsided, and then we tell them you need to come back and do the treatment, the root cause of the problem, and clean it. And then when we do, the tooth will never be like it was before. It's repaired, but it's never as strong. You need to be careful of it. So prevention is key here. So even people who have huge problems, they still don't come to the dentist. So imagine about mental health.
True.
So they only come when they really feel they're in pain, and because of the taboo of what's going on, like if you go get help, maybe you're weak. Now it's changing, I'm very thankful, but still in the Middle East, it's still like we don't want to show weakness, we have to keep resilient. And then we're in burnout, then maybe I will think about it and I will maybe check someone, But the problem is, like in dentistry, if you wait too long, the treatment is more painful and it's gonna cost you way more because the work is more longer. So prevention is key. So check in, see what's going on, see if you're right on track with your life, because the price that you will pay is not only the time, because time is the most valuable thing we have, is your health. And you don't want to, because emotions, I see it a lot in my male clients, especially high achieving clients. Emotions, when it's not processed, it shows in language and in behavior. So you have to go through it. And when you do, you feel so liberated. It's just an amazing feeling. Yeah.
Preventive. Okay. Let's go back to Iowa.
Let's go back to Iowa. So Iowa, yeah, when I started my own journey is that, people say it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But for me, I believe it's not even that. It's about who takes the journey. Because if you are prepared to take the journey, it changes everything. And even then, because imagine you don't know who you are, you go take the journey and then you see an out. You take that out, you want to explore, then you go back in. You take so much time to get to that destination. So first, focus on who you are right now. So people are so in flight mode, they're in stress mode. So everybody, when you're in survival mode, your body is instinct. You cannot control it. You only think about the short-term success. You never think about the long-term, maybe later. But first, that's what you do. So what I invite people to do is that get out of that overwhelm. It's really hard to see outside of this. So when you get out, you take a moment, discover who you truly are, and then when you discover who you are, your values, your limiting beliefs, the new rules of life, then you know your why. Because a clear and focused you with a clear and focused why gets to an easy how. It's so easy after that. When you're focused, you know your purpose, it's easy from there. And then you see life is happening, it's going great. No, it's because you did it. So this is what Iowa is. First is awareness and acceptance. Why in Iowa is getting to know your why. W is the what, where, getting to that gold plan that we want to do. And A is achievement. So this has been the methodology that I've been using, and it's also honestly the most sustainable. Because all my clients, they get to a point that I feel great, I want more. It's kind of when you want to lose weight or you want to get fit. You're not moving away goal, it's moving towards goal. So you feel like, okay, this is awesome. Why didn't I do this before? It's okay, you did not know before. Let's focus on now. Okay, how can I get better? And then they grow and they don't feel that they're growing. It's so sustainable.
How long is this process in general?
It depends on the person, where they are in their life. So if they come in with complete overwhelm, they are so exhausted, at the verge of burnout and all of that, it may take 9 sessions. So these 9 sessions would be 3 months to 4 months, depending on their time. Because the difference with me, because I'm a full-time coach and I only take a limited amount of people, because I don't want to be in burnout. I have to walk the talk, right? So I give every session is 2 hours, sometimes 2 hours and a half, because I really want them to get the benefit. It's not like a quick hour, thanks, I have another one. No. My focus only on you. Because I want, when we finish the work together, they're good. They don't need me. I want them to have a great life, and maybe later we'll check in, but not to be dependent. For me, of course, it's a business, but at the same time, it's a mission. Because when you live with a mission, you get successful anyway.
True.
So this is how it works.
So let's say
So 6 to 9 sessions.
To 6 to 9 sessions.
Yes.
It took 3 to 4 months.
Yes.
Once it's done, there is maintenance kind of period
so
after?
What I offer always is 2 months off, because I want them to be independent. I want to see what they can do on their own, what's coming up to them and everything. After 2 months, we just do a check-in, see how they're doing. And depending on their goals, some people have different goals. Like I work with high-achieving men like pilots and all, and for them timing is very hard. So we really have to focus on their schedule. And sometimes they like to have that maintenance once a month, just focusing on themselves and letting all that stress or emotion out so that they can be focused in their job, just having that outlet. So it depends on the person, but I don't recommend to always be dependable on your coach. That's not healthy. Because your coach is helping you to get better, so you're on your own. It's not the opposite way. So this is how a coach should be.
If we move to stress.
Yes.
Okay.
The topic of the day.
The topic of the day. So stress, if you ask Saif, do you like stress or not? I like what is called positive stress.
True.
Okay. This is this thing that keeps me going, keep me growing, achieving my goals. But that's a big topic for everyone.
True.
So let's dig in it a little bit, and let's first define what is stress for people.
I love this question. Last week I did 3 different workshops for 3 different type of people. There were young and university students, there were women leaders, and then there were also coaches. So I was teaching for 3 different people. Even the people who know so much about well-being, like coaches, when they identified stress, most people, either they identify it as how they feel, like I'm not feeling good, how the stress response is, and others what causes them stress, like work, my spouse, living here, it's pretty hectic. Actually, stress is a generic normal response of your body under threat. It's your body actually being there for you. It's your best buddy. It's like, I got you. We're under threat. Let's fight or flight. I got you, dude. Don't worry about it.
I like this example.
So yeah, it's fighting for you. It's working for you and not against you. But then what happens is that there are the stressors that cause the stress. They could be on the outside, like if you're in traffic and someone cuts you off and you just want to punch them. Or it could be internal, like you're worrying about the future, self-doubt, a lot of things. So that's why there's a lot of stressors that happen, internal or external. Some of them you can control, some of them you can't control. And then the stress is your body's response to that. So are two separate things. That's why dealing with them are separate, and that's why people are not fully recovering with stress, because either they work out and they feel better, but they're still under stress, or they, for example, you had a very busy day, you go back home, you're like, I'm done of the stress, what's causing you stress, but you still feel agitated. And then the worst thing is someone tells you, calm down, it's okay here. And you feel worse and you want to punch them. So it's completely normal.
True.
So this is what stress is. It's this fight-flight response where your body is being there for you to protect you. But as you said, this is a good thing, because when it is pushing you in the right way, like you mentioned, it's the best energy to have. And this is what we call the sweet spot of stress. So you need to know your sweet spot. Everybody has it differently. That's why in teams you have to know everybody's edge, of stress. So everybody has a sweet spot. If you have no stress, first, we don't live more than a week. We can die tomorrow with the traffic here, because we cannot be on alert. And secondly, you have boredom. You won't be energized. You won't do anything, right? And if you are so stressed all the time and on edge and you don't have any recovery time, you go in burnout. So you have to find that middle perfect spot so that your body is working for you and not against you.
But a question here means like different people have different response to stress, or how it works.
So stress response is the same for everybody. It's how, because for me, what a bit I'm different in coaching is that I always come in with the medical mindset. Like when I did coaching and I started my journey, I was stressed. I'm like, now I know what I am, and I still am stressed. What the hell? I'm doing what I was supposed to do, and I was stressed out. Because I was a stressaholic before. If I'm not stressed, something's wrong in my life. Like you, I have to be always on edge. But now I know who I am. I know what I want to do, but I'm still feeling stressed out. So when I went into stress, I went with a medical mindset, because now I'm a fellow at the American Institute of Stress. I really wanted to learn. And it's all about the body at the end of the day. It's not all here. So the body, the stress response. So you bring the stressor that causes your stress, and then the body is in fight, flight, or freeze mode. That's how it works. So you have all these hormones that are preparing you. Everything's shut down that is not important, and everything else that is important is on alert, fight, flight. But what happens is that when you're in the jungle and you have an animal like this attacking you, back in the caveman days, you actually fight or flight.
True.
You either run away, it's the first thing you do, or the second you bring people from your tribe and let's fight the tiger. When you fight the tiger, you bring it back to the tribe, you relax, you're with your family, you feast, and you're having a good time. Nowadays, it's the opposite. We have caveman response skills, but we have so many complicated stressors. So we do not do anything. So for example, you're in a meeting and someone is triggering you, like a stress response. He's not respecting you, or a value of yours is being disrespected. You get agitated. Some response would be, I want to punch this guy. Right? It happens. But it's not because you're a psycho person or you're angry. It's just your body being in fight mode, because you feel you can't fight him, so you want to fight him. And other people will feel like, I want to get out of this room. I cannot take this. And some other people will freeze. They will just want to let it go, and then they deal.
I love that.
But what happens is that's the problem. You feel this. But what do? Nothing. You be socially polite, because my mom told me not to react.
True.
Right? That's what happens. So what I suggest people, I had a client, he was a digital entrepreneur, and he had these emails all the time, and he's a buff man. And I asked him, if we were back in the caveman days and this person is in front of you, what would you do? He's like, I would punch the shit out of this guy. I would punch him till he dies. So I was like, okay, go boxing. Every night, go boxing. And ever since he
Get this
did
anger
that,
out.
you close the stress cycle. That's the problem, is that we get in fight-flight mode and then we stop.
True.
What happens is that we don't close the cycle, so your body doesn't feel safe. It's like, okay, the stressor is gone, but you're still with stress juice all day, and then you react on other people.
True.
You need to close the cycle. And how? Through body language. That's what people don't understand. That's why when you say calm down doesn't help you, because your body was there for you
To act.
to do something. So you have to do something to let it know we're okay. So that's how it works. This is a stress response only. And dealing with what causes your stress is completely different. That's why first, calm yourself down. close the stress cycle initially, and then when you're calm, you can think about it. What caused me stress today? This person is a piece of shit, for example. I don't like this guy. Okay, this is okay. Then you can be able to be more receptive, and you'll be like, okay, now I can actually think what is good and what is bad, and you can stop the cycle. Because people have chronic stress, is that they have the same stressors every day and they don't do anything about it. So they're always triggered.
I love that. So when we talk about stress, for example, let's say there is safe and safe two. And
Okay.
somebody throw a problem at us.
Okay.
Like, for example, a financial problem.
Okay.
For example, if you come to me and tell me any financial problem,
Okay.
I will not get stressed.
Okay.
Because I don't know why, but I believe in myself that I can fix it. Other person can be, it can cause stress. So does this means my past experience affects on how I take stress, or how this, or it's my character, or what?
I mean, first of all, when you talk about money, it's a very personal thing because people see.
Regardless, like
No, but it's a beautiful example because people, they get triggered because maybe they have a bad relationship with finances. They did not do the work like you did, right? For you did so much work that you're comfortable in the uncomfortable, and that's the whole point. Like you saw it as an opportunity, not a challenge. So that's why for you it's not stressful, because what stresses you out is not that doesn't stress me out. That's why in coaching as well, every person is unique. Every person has their own stressors that what causes
okay.
stress, and I would work with them personally to see why does this stress them out, because you're not born stressed about money. It came from family most of the time, and you would either be, you're always, when you're with money, for example, you're always copying one of your parents' modules about how you spend money or you make money. So it's really personal when it comes to that. But what you're talking about is the stressor, what causes you stress, and that is personal, exactly. There are things you can control, like for example, finance. You found that I can control this and you worked on it, and other people maybe they didn't and they're scared. So it is very personal.
How can I find if I'm a person, like I'm coming to you,
Okay?
okay, I feel that I'm fucked up. How do you find out that what kind of stress that I have?
First, I will ask you, what do you mean by fucked up? What does define
I'm
it for
always
me?
tensed. I feel a little bit angry.
Okay.
Then how can I find what kind of things that makes me stressed, and how can I help it?
So how do you want to feel instead? Because earlier you said you like to have some good stress, right? So first we need to identify your sweet spot. What is good for you, and where are you feeling you're above
I'll tell you
that?
something very interesting.
Tell me.
So I'm wearing this device. Okay, amazing device. So this amazing device, on a period of 3 days, it calibrates your stress zone, like I'm sleeping,
That's good.
So the stress zone, I keep getting messages like safe enough. Get out of this zone. Get out of this zone.
Okay.
You've been in the stress zone for
Your heart is pumping a lot.
Yeah. So like I wrote them an email like I think today morning.
Okay.
I said like maybe there is something wrong. This doesn't fit me. There is something wrong. You need to calibrate because I don't feel agitated. Like it's me like this.
Okay.
So I really don't understand which thing I should be worried about, that this stress is really causing me to leading to a burnout.
Okay.
And what type of stress that it is the stress that keeps me
Moving forward.
but I don't, at the same time I don't want to be blinded
Yeah.
to say like, oh, okay, I'm moving forward, and suddenly I find myself burned out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I love that. The example that I give is when people are so focused, they will just go like a bull, and then they nick themselves along the way. Like you're hitting, but it's okay. You just focus, and then when you reach the goal, first of all, it's not as glamorous as you thought, and you get depressed and disappointed because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. But then when you relax and you close the stress cycle, you'll be like, what happened? I nicked myself, I bruised myself, and then you notice these things. So first is that I will definitely invite you to close the cycle as much as you can, to see you at the most calm state. Look at the calmest of you, and I will see what is calm for you, because as I said, it's personal. It's personal. What makes you tick, what doesn't make me tick. So we will see first how is calm for you, when are you your best, when do you feel the most calm, and what is calm for you. Secondly, we'll find the sweet spot, and then we see what angers you. Okay. Mostly what angers you for most people, I saw, is that their values are not being respected. And most people don't know their values. They know like three of them maybe, but not really in depth. What is that? Because either they are fear-based values or they are conscious-based values. So we have to see the conscious one. I'll give you my example. When I did this exercise, when I was becoming a coach, respect was my number one value. And respect for me means different things than for you, for example. But because I was moving countries and I was doing paperwork in 3 countries, in France, they were not respecting me. They were not professional with my time. They were very mean. And in Dubai, they're very respectful. They're on time. I wasn't stressed here. I felt great. And there, they made me feel bad about myself. And then I'm like, it's actually a value not being respected because I'm doing the same thing in 2 different countries. Here, I'm feeling awesome, and here, I'm feeling crap. Now I understand that the stress is because my values are not being met. So most of the time is like knowing yourself is so crucial before managing your stress. Is first knowing who you are, close the cycle, and then that will clean a lot of things, and then you can be able to tune in what is exactly the 3 things that really pisses you off. It could be family sometimes, huh? Some people that are closest to us, they could be sometimes hard.
I like this idea of closing the cycle or closing the loop, because when somebody tells me, for example, say, how to become confident, it's a different angle, but also I always say, try to close the loop. Like, for example, if I'm going out and I want to speak to someone and I hold myself, I don't speak, and then I go home and I keep remembering that, oh shit, I had to speak to that person. I had the opportunity.
Yeah.
But if I close the loop at the moment, it helps me to build my confidence. I love this.
Because
this one.
action leads to courage.
True.
People think it's the opposite. You need courage to take action. It's quite the opposite. Just take an action.
True.
It leads to courage. And with stress, the cycle, it's a health cycle. It's kind of like you inhale, you exhale. You ingest, you digest. You're born, you die. With stress, you have to close it. Some people close it without even noticing, like when you burst crying out of nowhere. That's your stress closing up. Or when you laugh. Like you laugh so much. So closing the cycle, there are many ways to do it. The best ones are movement, any movement. Best is either fighting, like you listen to your response, or running, or even dancing. And I ask parents to do that a lot with their kids. Just because we are not been taught when we were kids what stress. When we think stress, we always connotate it to the bad one because we saw our parents stressed out and they never closed their cycles. We have to close their cycles, you know. It was horrible. It's, you know, so first of all is movement. Second is sleep is so important because you go in recovery. That's why people tell you sleep on it. It will make you feel better.
Correct.
It's just because the body relaxes. It's not anymore emotional. And it can be rested, and affection. So affection is the Gottman Institute. They are relationship experts. The 6-second kiss is very good with your partner, and the 20-second hug. Because when you have someone that you trust, after 20 seconds, it's either an awkward hug.
Oxytocin, I think, gets
exactly,
released.
you get released. And no, it's also your body feels safe. It's no longer in stress mode. You know, the fight, flight, we're safe now. Relax. Yeah.
How do I know I'm burned out?
How do you know you're burned out? So burnout, it's a very big topic. So people think burnout happens right away, like after a hard week or something. Burnout happens when you have chronic stress, so it's the bad stress, unmanaged over a period of time, and there's phases of burnout. There's 5 phases. People say there's 7. Anyway, there's phases. But when it started to be defined at the beginning in 1975, first it was emotional exhaustion. That when you are exhausted emotionally, like when you care too much about something for too long. Depersonalization, like you're cynical, you don't care about what you do anymore, you're like, you know, khalas, I don't care anymore, fuck it. I'm sorry. And then the third one is, you know, you don't value anymore. Whatever you do has no value. Like whatever I work, it doesn't matter anymore. And it's honestly, you feel it in your body. People even...
It's physical or emotional?
It's
like
both.
It's both.
It's both. It for women, for example, it starts emotional. It's emotional exhaustion for most of them. And for men, it's the other one, depersonalization. Like they don't care anymore. Like whatever I do, they're cynical. They want to escape everything. I just don't want to deal with anything anymore. They just have that mentality. And and then the other one, that whatever you do, it's also in the cynical part. Whatever that you do, it won't be, you know, nothing will change. That's like when you are like in a hopeless case and you cannot get out of bed anymore. But there's phases of burnout. So if you are at the end phase of burnout, it's medical. Like you need medical attention. Like your body is shut down. This is where it's kind of similar to clinical depression, the symptoms. But the early signs of burnout is kind of that. Like when you're exhausted, you can't take it anymore. Whatever you do is never enough. And like, oh, you know what? I'm done. I want to escape all of this. It's that.
How easy or how hard it is to recover from burnout?
So if you are in true burnout and you're in it, it takes time. It's kind of like the abscess. You know, it's like I kind of define it sometimes with this type of abscess because you've waited too long. You know, you had the cavity. It's been going there, you know, you didn't do the prevention stuff, and then it goes big. It takes time. For me, it took me 2 years
No way.
to fully get out of burnout. Yeah.
But
But some people take less time. Depends on you.
It's very, for me, it's very subjective because I'm a number person. It's very,
Exactly.
how can I understand I'm in burnout and then now I'm out of burnout? Like, how do you understand? It's you feel physically, you feel emotionally, you feel energized, you feel...
It's a good question because when you close the stress cycle, people ask me, how do I know that I closed it? Because even if I do, I'm still agitated. If you have so much unprocessed emotions for so long, even really old ones, you think there's so many unprocessed and you have kept them in. Because emotion is energy in motion. It's a tunnel. It comes in, it goes through you, and it has to come out. And if you keep it in after a long time, you just want to burst. Your body is telling you, I can't take it anymore, and it gives you pain. Either back pain and you go to the chiro and it's never healed, it's an emotional pain. So when you start closing the cycle, you start feeling a bit better. Either your respiration gets a bit calmer, you know, your mood changes. It's kind of like feeling after a meal. You feel like something is better, you know, this is much better, but you have to do it constantly. That's why a week in Bali doesn't change anything.
This type of like 3 days or
no,
3
that
days
doesn't
off,
help.
it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't help. You have to make it, because closing the cycle, as I mentioned, is a health thing. So everybody needs to do it like brushing your teeth. You have to, every day you have to do something. It could be different. Someday you can dance, someday you can just have a good sleep. Sometimes you are with your partner. It depends. There are so many ways to close it. But once you do, it's very important. And it has to be a habit. Yeah.
When we were off, we talked about the comfort zone.
Yes.
And getting outside of the comfort zone.
Yes.
Let's talk about it a little bit.
Well, it's a very dear topic
The
of
magic
mine.
of
The magic.
happening in the comfort zone, outside of the comfort
Of
zone.
that comfort zone. Now, I love it because when I was invited to do my TEDx speech last month, so I'm a TEDx speaker now, the theme was looking through the looking glass, you know? And for me, I thought my journey was such a beautiful part, and that's why they invited me to do the TEDx for my journey. And leaving your comfort zone is not easy, because I thought leaving my comfort zone is gonna be awesome, magic is gonna happen. It didn't. So first there's the fear zone, right? And then there is the learning zone, and then there's the magic. And when people are in the fear zone, this is why they get scared, and then they come back in the comfort zone. What people don't know is that the longer you stay in the comfort zone, the smaller it gets and the more painful it gets. So you see people depressed around you. They're comfortable, they're having the okay life, but they're not happy because it's not comfortable at the end. But once you stay in, the fear zone gets bigger. And that jump to do it is much harder. That's why I always recommend first is to ask 4 simple questions. What is this life or situation costing you? Because most people wait for people to give them permission to leave it. Like getting fired was the best thing that ever happened to me. Why I had to wait that long? And then when you do it, it's going to be harder. So leaving the comfort zone. So first, what is this life or situation costing you? How would your life be different, you know, if you take that step? Allow yourself to ask that question. Many people don't allow themselves because, you know, in our culture, we're always thinking about the bad stuff. What if things happen bad? Because it happened, not because it's out of the blue. And I mean, I was in Lebanon, there was war. But what if it all goes well? What if I can think about something better and I can actually do it? For me, it was a very big mindset work because I was always focusing on what if I fail? What if people don't like it? But then I was like, what if I succeed in this? I got scared when I thought of this. I was like, what if I was so successful and I had so much money? I don't know how to deal with that. It's too much because I have always been trained to think less, to save, not to make, you know? So having that mindset is very crucial. So allow yourself to think, what would this life be like if you take that step? And what are the obstacles that you're going to face? Everybody's scared of facing those obstacles. But actually, there are the steps that you need to take and anticipate, don't improvise. Because, you know, Alpha, they anticipate. That's why they're always calm. They anticipate things. They never improvise, you know? And the last one, what are the resources that you need? Ask for help. Invest in yourself. I think Alex Ormozy says it best, the S&Me 500, not the S&P 500.
Exactly.
And it's completely true. It's completely true. So, yeah, I think that would be the comfort zone. It's a challenge. It's going to be hard, but the faster you do it, the easier it will be. You know, quick and painful.
So you said like comfort zone, fear, and then magic.
Learning zone.
Learning and
then
magic.
magic. Yes.
Very interesting. Do you suggest that people start coaching and invest in coaching early in their early life?
So I have honestly felt when I did my coaching, 4 years ago when I was so depressed, I was really contemplating dark thoughts because I was feeling guilty for having that perfect life and not feeling happy. I really had it all. And people would say, why are you not happy on the inside? You had it all on the outside. It's your inner world that creates your outer world. And when I'm working with young people, when I'm invited for like students and everything, they don't know who they are. They're so focused, their values are linked to their achievements. The more I have this credentials, I'm worthy of this. Once my boss is happy, then I'm worthy. So when you invest in coaching or you're investing in yourself, I think the earlier the better, because you get to have that confidence that you mentioned earlier, and you become so big on the inside, you become mighty, that all the problems get smaller. That's the key, because now people link their problems to their value. Like if you obsess about a problem, means you are only worthy of this problem. I'm sure Elon Musk would not worry about this problem like you're worrying. So you need to become mighty, you need to become bigger. It's scary sometimes for people to think that because they've been conditioned, you're not worthy. So to break that mindset, the NLP part comes in, become big, and then everything gets smaller, and then you can grow. And then giving that the opportunity to young adults, any adult at any moment, it's just a beautiful investment in yourself. It's something that you're never gonna lose. It's gonna grow in value, since you like finance, it's gonna grow in value as well, and no one can steal it from you, right? No one can steal who you are and becoming awesome, because it's going to become even better in the future.
These days we meet a lot of people, and everybody in his field say you have to invest in this field, just to be very open.
Yes.
Like you meet a health person, invest in your health.
Yeah.
You meet invest in your mental health. You meet a real estate person, you invest in real estate to have passive income.
Definitely.
As if we're coming to this world just to invest.
Yeah.
But
I love this.
For people who are listening to us, to just to get a rough understanding, what type of investments or how big is the investments if people, like let's say living in Dubai, want to invest in a coach for themselves for a mental health? What are the numbers they're looking at?
I mean, I think it depends on the coaches. Like as I said, it's not a regulated thing, so it depends on the prices. And I think it also depends on the coach's expertise and their years of expertise. And most importantly is on the result, right? So it depends, because I think with the prices, it changes from country to country. But if I'm not mistaken, in Dubai, the prices ranges between 500 dirhams to 1,000 dirhams, maybe even more per session, right? Like I'm just making simple, so I have to calculate
So we're talking
it.
about $200 per session.
Yeah, and I think it's not, coaching is not something that is for long. It's actually gains you time. If you're stuck and you want just that advice, you just go to that person and they give it to you. You save so much time. And when you look in a coach, always look in that person that you want to be, maybe not too long ago. So for example, people ask me what coach to take. I will never hire Tony Robbins, for example, because he's so far away. He wouldn't be
close to my reality.
It's close to my reality. So always hire that coach is closer to your reality. And every coach, normally, they have a discovery call where it is no engagement to see if there's a good fit and a good chemistry. Go for it. I mean, it's not going to cost you anything. You always get some clarity out of that call.
True.
Go there, see if it's a good fit, and then see what the results are going to give you. And it's going to be that time where you're going to express yourself instead of doing it on your partner. It really saves relationships sometimes when you have that place to vent and to express, and then you're better, because with coaching, especially with me, because it's all about inner calmness and everything, the more you're calm, everything around you gets calm. Your partner gets better, your relationship gets better, your work gets better. So you are the center of your life. This is why I think it's important. That's why I changed careers for it, because I personally feel it's so important. So first, if you feel calm, it gives a ripple effect. Because you see, I'm calm and you wanted to be calm next to me, and if I was on edge, you would feel it, especially if you're a highly sensitive person. There's a lot of highly achieving people, highly sensitive, so they feel everything right away and they pull away, so it's important.
True. Let me ask you another angle for coaches who are listening to us.
Sure.
So how do you scale?
How do you scale? Good question.
Because of course you're in business, you're an entrepreneur, running your own business, but your business is selling your time, and there is a cap for it. And as you said, when you go to sessions, you're not like 1 hour, I'm going to the next one.
Yeah.
So how coaches can scale their business?
So I think with coaches, first, either they are going to be high-ticket coaches where they take a small number of people, but the price is higher, so they know that they're for them. This is number one. Second thing, they could do group coaching. So they coach a small group of people, but it has to be like-minded individuals. I see sometimes that is hard because not everybody opens up easily.
True.
So you can do, for example, group coaching and bring in your one-on-one would be your premium thing. And then some people do like memberships where all the things you already mention all the time, they could see it in a membership place. So they pay a membership. It's a really good passive income. And yeah, and then they do workshops, things like that. But I think, one to many later. I think Daniel Priestley mentioned it best, become a key person of influence. That's what he says.
Correct.
It's very good. Yeah.
What is simplify to amplify?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love
What is
that.
it?
It's like we call it the KISS technique. It's
Yeah.
like keep it super
That's
simple.
Exact. Yeah.
So simplify to amplify. So I always talk about my audience, right? People that I work with. When they are overwhelmed and they are high achieving, usually they link their values to their achievements. So they have so much they want to do all the time. Everything is a priority, especially when I work with women. Everything is a priority. They have to have everything perfect, right? The perfectionism. I always tell them done is better than perfect, number one. Progress over perfection. And simplify to amplify. First is, you see you have two hands, right? This is all you can handle. And my hands are smaller than yours. So I have different energy than you as well. So focus on the plates. So I have so many people who have thousands of plates with small mini plates with a fork here. Remove all of that, okay? Just see the important plates in this moment in your life. For me, it took me a while to learn that you can change. Like you're allowed to be different in 6 months. Because sometimes when you're with family who is very fixed mindset, I'm talking about, European mindset, they hate when you change, and they think like, they don't like the old you. They want the old you, but my old me was awesome, but I want to grow. So also you're going to have different environments, but first remove those crappy plates, focus on the important place at the moment with your energy. Because if you're exhausted and in burnout, you can't hold more than a plate. At this moment, you're like, take it, man, in your face.
True.
Like, I'm done. I don't want even a thing. When you're like so irritated, don't give me anything. So this is like, khalas. So focus first, you being better, with the health and everything. And then, okay, what are the plates? Now I can hold more plates. Okay, now I can be more plates. Just keep it super simple. What is most important? If it makes sense. I like to use metaphors.
True. What is success for you? How do you define success?
Success. So before, I defined success doing a job. I don't have to like it, but I was paying the bills and, I'm feeling independent. That was for me at the time when I was a dentist. But now success for me is to wake up every morning with mental clarity and physical wellness, and I can seize the day, and that I have skills that wherever I go in the world, I stand on top. Like a cat. Like you can throw me there, I'm like standing. I feel that if I have these skills in myself to monetize anywhere I go, to be able to create from anywhere, I think that's successful right now, not to be limited. Yeah, it's like a cat. Like you throw me, I'm like, okay, I got it. So yeah.
Nice.
And I use the beautiful here to give me some inspiration. I'm very creative. So.
Do you have any habits or rituals that you think it contributed to your success right now?
Okay, I think my first one is relentless. I think it's not a habit of like green smoothies in the morning. I'm not a green smoothie girl or Lululemon pants. Like I don't care. It's relentless. Like I am relentless. Like if I have something, I have to make sure that I do it. I challenge myself all the time, but now I am more kind to myself. Before I was really hard, that caused me burnout. Now I'm like, how can I grow from this? So first is relentlessness. Second of all is to always prioritize myself, because I used to have human giver syndrome and people pleasing. So with people pleasing, just because you talk about stress, one of the stressors we see a lot is the inner critic, the judge, that you're not good enough, you're a piece of shit, what are you doing, you're gonna fail. And this judge has accomplices that are perfectionism, stickler, people-pleasing, victim, hypervigilant, all of those things. So what happens for me, I had the people-pleaser syndrome inside of me. So I was always focusing on others before myself. Now I do the opposite. I always try to prioritize my own health, because the more good I feel, the more good I can do. So that will be, and to give as well.
What kind of advice? No, let's not go to this one. Do you have a hidden talent or a skill that nobody knows?
I think I have one. I hope it's a good one. I'm a comedian. I think.
Do you want to share with us?
No, I mean, I love making people feel sarcasm. Yeah, sarcasm is my humor.
Yeah.
You got it. I love to make people laugh. That's my thing, because one of my talents as well is to make every single person feel seen, heard, and understood, and that's very crucial. I feel now it's such a rare skill to have, because everybody's in their own worlds, and there's the online world and the offline world.
True.
So I think to make people laugh, every day, every time I meet someone, I just make people laugh. And they tell me, why don't you be a stand-up comedian? I was like, this is pretty big.
I'm a coach.
I'm a coach. But yeah, so it's just to make people laugh.
We have a section, it's called the Alpha Quickfire Insights. Okay, so I'll ask you list of couple of questions.
Okay.
And tell me your response. So, a person who influenced you the most in your life?
I think, so recently, I could say it's my partner, Michele, because, when you live with someone for so long, he is the type of person, not only that does he support me, support is such a small word, he never allows me to give up.
I said it's a quick fire, but like she loves you a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, it's my partner recently, Michele.
Your favorite book?
My favorite book at the moment is Everything is Figure-Outable by Marie Forleo.
Favorite city to live in?
Florence.
Movie genre?
Comedy. Like we're talking.
Life biggest regret?
Not prioritizing my health before.
Are you an early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Oh, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Best travel destination?
I have no idea. Everywhere. I mean, Italy. That's because it's everybody's favorite.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunset.
Favorite cuisine?
Lebanese. Sorry, it's good.
Favorite color?
Blood red.
Oh, favorite car brand?
Mercedes.
A favorite watch brand?
I'm simple. Rolex.
Very simple. Yeah. What's an alpha for you?
So an alpha for me is a leader that is an anchor. I think someone that stays on the ground and doesn't move, where anybody can come to them. When you need inspiration, you come to them. When you need support, you come to them. It's that person that takes on responsibilities and is ready to hold people around them.
Love that. What is the last message you want to leave the audience with today?
I think the first thing is that, as I said at the beginning, you are the creator of your current circumstance. So if you're feeling lost, you're feeling stuck, you're not alone. We've all felt this at a certain point in our lives. Seek guidance and always close your stress cycle.
Love that.
Yes.
Here we have a ritual in the Alpha Talks podcast or show. It's called the Alpha Talks Memoir. So the Alpha Talks Memoir, we ask the Alpha guest to do 3 things.
Okay.
The first one is to write their experience in the show. The second thing is to write a question to the next Alpha guest. It's a way of making guests communicate to each other, though they don't know who's writing the question. And the third, who do you recommend to be the next Alpha guest who can really give value to our audience?
Of course.
So before we move to the writing part, I'll ask you the question from the previous Alpha guest. I have one good question. Do you want to be famous? If yes, why?
No, I don't want to be famous. And with how fame is right now, I think, no, in the standards of today, no. I don't want to be famous in the standards of today.
Yeah, thank you for the amazing answer. Vanessa, thank you very much.
Thank
it was
you,
an
Sif.
honor to have you today. A lot of valuable, I would say, knowledge you shared with our audience.
Yes, thank
we
you.
highly appreciate, and I'm sure we'll do more episodes together. We will get deeper in these subjects.
Yes. I mean, just ask the audience what exactly they would like to hear, because the more customizable it is, the more impactful it is.
Of course.
Because everybody deals with stress differently. Just like an example, Dubai, I work with people in 3 different languages around the world, and people in Dubai are the most stressed, although we live in a very safe place. So it's pretty awkward, right? So people have so many internal stressors that causes their stress on a regular basis, and we have no outlet to express. So that's why working out is important, and I think that's why a lot of wellness places are opening up because of this. and the nature is hard, not to have nature to ground yourself. So I think that's very important, that even it's good on the outside, we don't know what's going on the inside, even if we live here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for everything.
That wraps another inspiring episode of today's show. I hope that this episode has ignited your inner alpha and left you feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to conquer any challenge that comes your way. Remember, alphas aren't born, they're made. It isn't about dominating others, it's about embracing your authenticity, leading with integrity, and making a positive impact on the world. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to the Alpha Talks on your favorite podcast platform. Leave us a review and share the podcast with your fellow alphas. Also connect with us on social media at Saif Al Hakim. Share your thoughts, insight, and stories of personal and business growth with us. Let's create a movement of alphas supporting one another. The world needs more alphas like you exactly. Until next time, stay bold, stay driven, and stay alpha.